What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 4 different stocks today. We're going to talk about 2 that I've talked about a couple of times on this channel, and then 2 that we've never talked about before. Shout out to Dead Ahead, X-Dead. We're talking to you, buddy, because you gave the request for Bloom Energy, BE. We will be talking about that in this video. We're going to talk in order. We're going to talk about Tesla first, then Bloom Energy, then BTQ, and we're going to finish up the video with a low cap stock that's a bit of an iffy play, but we made a call on it a little while ago, and it's been doing well, and it's an OTC stock. We'll just say it's the special stock at the end. We'll say the super special secret stock at the end. It's not that super secret or special. Maybe BTQ is, maybe BE is, but we'll get into it. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get some analysis done. Okay, Tesla up 4% on the day is nice to see. If we're looking at it here from a high to a low, we've actually gone all the way up to our golden ratio, found resistance here, support down here, up to this zone. We're now finding support on the golden ratio. I really think that Tesla is getting set up to see new all-time highs. And when it sees new all-time highs, not if, but when, we should see some price around like $609 to $806, somewhere in this zone. Okay, we go to the last significant kind of consolidation phase that Tesla had. Let's put it on a weekly time frame here. Okay. Let's do this one, yeah? Let's take this high to low right here. High to low. Where did you go? You went all the way up to your golden ratio. There's no smoke and mirrors here. There's no hocus pocus. It's just exactly what it looks like, which is that from a high to a low here, you went all the way up to your golden ratio, and that's where we're consolidating now. So the next target areas based off of this would actually be the 1886 to the 2618, which would be anything from about $600 to $1,000, where this fib is telling us it's more likely going to be somewhere between about $600 and $800. But there is a chance that we go up to $1,000. The psychological resistance there, I would think more likely we stop around 800 or a little bit above there, but that's my expectation at the moment. But based off of that, you stopped right at the golden ratio. So in time, this isn't going to happen tomorrow, but in time you should get there. And then if we look at this on a monthly time frame, we look at Tesla. You're really just kind of in the process. You've been in the process since December of last year of breaking out to new all-time highs, haven't you? You're kind of like XRP. If you guys catch my drift, from a high here to a low there, $600 to $1,000. Again, this range comes up. This would be the target area that you would imply. And we go to the last kind of significant target zone that we had from a high. Oh, that was not the high. High to the low. We went all the way up to our 4618 and beyond. We went to very deep extensions. A little bit of turbulence here at the 2272, but overall we prevailed. Overall we continued to grow. And if I take the high to low here, we can also see that there's probably some deep extensions being achieved here as well. 4618 again, just above there. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to go all the way up to the 4618. That's ridiculous. Okay, that's $66,000. But I do think that we have serious potential here to see not just $600 to $1,000, but potentially higher targets than that in time. Right? I do believe Tesla will see higher targets than that in time. But time will tell. So far, you look bullish. If we're doing the short-term stuff, looking at the short-term stuff, I suppose what we want to see is this month close green. We don't want this month to close red. If it closes red, you have monthly bearish divergence on your RSI, on your MACD, and on your stochastics. We don't want to do that. On a weekly time frame, if we're looking at this here, the RSI actually looks good, looks reset, so do the stochastics, and the MACD is at a point to bounce, but you have to bounce here, which, to be fair, it looks like you're doing. And then on the daily time frame, all these indicators look like you're at an area to bounce as well. The RSI does not need to go to the oversold zone. In fact, we've bounced from this exact area multiple times before, several times before. We don't need to go to the oversold zone. You're fine. You're ready to go. So this is the real deal. I think that, I don't know what this pattern's called, but it's something resemblant of what's called an abandoned baby. It's technically not an abandoned baby, but that's this little 3-bar pattern here. That's what I would equate it to, and that typically is a reversal signal. Again, it's not an abandoned baby, but it resembles that, and therefore the consequences of that might be resembled as well. Anyways, Tesla looks really good. Let's talk about BE now. We're going to talk about Bloom Energy. Okay, Bloom Energy. This is the request from Dead Ahead. A lot of volume building here. I've never heard of this company before. Bloom Energy Corporation. Market cap is $26 billion. Okay, all right. So you play ball. That's good. I don't know anything about this company at all. I know nothing about the fundamentals and know nothing about it at all. You don't need fundamentals to do technicals, okay? Notice how I didn't talk about earnings or any kind of fundamentals here to come up with those. We didn't need that at all to figure out that Tesla respects its golden ratio. Why can't I get this right? Let's see, from a high to a low, right? There was nothing about fundamentals, and yet we respected the golden ratio as resistance, the 1618, and the 618 as support. Nothing about fundamentals or anything like that there. I don't care about your Q2, Q3 earnings, whatever. Same thing with BE. I don't need to know that we're at a serious point to reject. We're at the golden ratio. We're at a point where you might find resistance. You have all-time highs in volume. At your all-time highs, you're probably going to find some turbulence. That's probably what's going to happen. You're very overbought on the RSI. Why does my voice keep doing this? Hold on, guys. I think I got it. I think I got it this time. I'm sorry I keep clearing my throat. I'm not normally this bad, but it's bad for whatever reason today. The stochastics look like they're coming down. I mean, you look super bullish overall, but just depending on what we do from here, it could very much validate that you do have a top because you are interacting with that golden ratio. Could you go higher? Sure, but you might stop here. Let's look at the short term stuff. Daily time frame. Yeah, I wish I talked about this before because we could have seen this bearish divergence coming a mile away. You do, however, have lower lows in the RSI with higher lows in the price. That is hidden bullish divergence, and that likely will send you higher. Maybe that's what you got yesterday. Maybe that's what you're getting today. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. Bouncing off the oversold zone, you're kind of in an area where I do think you're topping off, but maybe you come back up again. Maybe come back up to about 130, 120, somewhere in there. You're at 110 now, so nothing crazy. But I do think you're getting ready to move down. Bearish divergence on your MACD, bearish divergence, severe divergence on your RSI and on your stochastics on the daily time frame. Yeah, come down. And where does that divergence first form? All the way down here. I mean, we're not talking about anything crazy. Just come down, probably anywhere from about $86 to 60 bucks would do. Let's look at the weekly time frame. Yeah, very severe bearish divergence there on your RSI. That would call for something that is, again, probably around 80 bucks or lower. That'd be my guess. Around $80 or lower. That means that you could go to $81 and that's fine. But if I had to guess, I would think that you do go just below 80 bucks. Yeah, come back down to 70. Come back down to there. That's where I think you'll go. Find support there. Let's see. High to low here. Golden ratio just twice, right? Or this is the money zone and then golden ratio right there. 1272 right there. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. I'm very convinced BE spends what would probably be months worth of consolidation working its way down to $71 or somewhere thereabouts. At least something around 85 at least, but likely something below 80 and probably all the way down to 70. I doubt you go lower than that. Doesn't mean you can't go lower than that. I just doubt that you do. Okay, for now at least. That's the best I got. Okay, so I hope that helps. Let's talk about BTQ. This is one that I saw from Cryptos R Us. He was talking about this thing, which if he's talking about it, that's interesting to me. George, I like George. I think that he's a smart guy. Not everything that he's not King Midas. Not everything he talks about turns to gold. This one might not, but he brought up a chart. I'm looking at it. It's a brand new chart. It came about in September of this year, and you're at your all-time lows. Perfect time for a double bottom. I don't know. And it's a low market cap coin. On that note, very low market cap, 5.6 million. Okay. Look into what they do. I forget. I actually looked into what they do. I forget what it is that they do. It's something for crypto though. They required Q perfect, and that allows them to do is that it's like something with quantum resistance, right? I want to say it's something with quantum resistance. That's what they are, and that being applied to crypto could be very very valuable. I'm pretty sure that's what it is actually. But look into them, right? If you're going to buy a market cap of $5.6 million, do your own research. I'm not the fundamental guy. That's on you or girl, whoever you are. I'm just the chart guy. And what I can tell you is from the way of the charts, which are brand new, we are at a very good opportunity to buy. We're up 7% today, which isn't fair. Which is that it's if you wanted to buy at a great opportunity, we should have bought earlier, right? Before we pumped up 7%. But it is possible that we go lower. But notice here how we moved up with a lot of volume. Here you move down, there was a good bit of volume, but volume is starting to die off as you're moving lower. I have a feeling we will reverse here pretty soon. I want to look at this, and again, it's a low cap stock. Be aware of what you're investing in. Do your own research. Okay. Bullish divergence on the daily time frame on the MACD and the stochastics. A little bit of a double bottom on the RSI. I like it. The only thing that I will say is we could go lower, and if you think that we're absolved of going below this low, I would caution you and say that we really could go right below that low. And as soon as we do, watch us find support and then we rip. But my thoughts are not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're in this for the long term, a buy here I think is fine. Maybe you have to sit through a little bit of pain, but I could easily see this thing. If this thing is what we think it is, it really could see new all-time highs and just beyond that. From a high to a low here, all-time highs would be at new all-time highs would be anything from 2150 to 3120, and again, it's very new. We could see deeper extensions. I mean, who's to say? You're at about $6 now. We could see this thing all the way up at $100 by the end of the year. Who knows? Like it genuinely, low cap stocks can move very, very quickly. You know, especially if crypto's doing well and this is a quantum resistant thing, and they integrate with crypto, or there's some kind of something that happens without a partnership, whatever. You could see some voluptuous upside, right? Because at 5 million. 6 million, let's say it's at 6 million in market cap, a 10x puts you at 60 million. That's a lot of money, but that's not a big, we're not asking the world. A 20x puts you at 120 million. That's, again, it's still not asking the world. This would put you right at about 100 million, and that's psychological resistance plus $100 psychological resistance. It makes sense that we could go there. Okay. As far as how high can it go, I don't know. I don't know. If you want me to tell you exactly where it's going to go, I can tell you I would expect that we do see anything from $21 to $31. We probably find turbulence there, but I would bet that we go higher. How high does it go? Dude, we could be worth thousands. I don't know. Maybe it never breaks above 50. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't ever see new all-time highs, but that's on you to gauge and judge yourself, right? Looking at the 1 hour time frame, a little bit of bullish divergence on the RSI. It's more of like a double bottom. Bullish divergence on the MACD and on the stochastics. I'm personally under the impression that we don't have lower to go, but if we do go lower, it won't be by much, okay? Again, let me just say it to be clear. I don't think we go below $5.40. But if we do, we could see new all-time lows and still be fine. And likely we will be fine. This is a better opportunity to buy than it is to sell, and that remains true for any price lower. Okay. Likely, your next target destination will be new all-time highs. I don't care about the in-between. It's just going to be at new all-time highs. And with that, from a high to a low, the expectation there would be $21 to $31 at least. Okay. Which from here, from the current price of about $5.91, it's about 250, 260% to 420% growth. We could see that happen. I mean, just look at this. We could see that happen in 2 weeks. Maybe it takes 2 months. I don't know. Timing is not the best to gauge off of. And then here's the super secret sauce, guys. This is the super special secret chart. It actually is kind of special, I think. I want to tell you guys how I found this stock. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I was just typing in. Sometimes I'll go on TradingView and I'll just type in things. And the word, hold on, guys. I just got to clear out my throat, man. I wish I had water. I don't have any more water. That's what it is. I need to get more water. The word FERN just came to my mind, so I typed that in. And FERN Hill Corp came up. I'm looking into it, and we were looking into it down here when it was worth 0.0005. Right? We were looking at it there when it was there or lower. And I was saying, I looked into this stock, guys, and it says non-energy minerals, precious metals. They have changed. They're now a crypto company, right? And I think that here with their market cap's low too, 5.2 million. It was very low down here as well. I think this is one of those stocks that people, whenever they talk about crypto treasury companies, that overnight they're pumping like 8x or 10x or 40x, whatever, overnight, and you wish you had the inside scoop beforehand. I feel like this is that stock. I really do feel like this is that stock. I mean, overall, we look at this chart, you look at the weekly time frame, the monthly time frame. It's got a giant double bottom. That was the first thing that was appealing to us. And then if this is a W pattern, if we do go above this pattern here, above that high, from these lows that we were at, which we were at like 0.0005, we were actually at lower prices. Just to get back to that high, that's over a 100x. And just with how it looks, I'm pretty convinced that we're going to see that. You've got a low enough market cap, and you're integrating into crypto. And not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Probably not the best stock to hold for decades, right? Probably just it'll pump and then it'll dump. Get in, get out, right? Just like its whole life. But I could see this thing going, and it's an OTC stock, so you have to buy it through an exchange that either offers this, or you'll have to go OTC yourself and get like a broker or something. But I would expect that this thing can see new all-time highs, and from here, I mean, just to get back to 6 cents, that's a 37x. To get up here to 30 cents, that's about 100 and something x. You could see this, and again, 100x from here at 5 million. I mean, that puts you at $500 million, $600 million, somewhere around there. That's a lot of money, but in crypto, we throw that money around like it's nothing. 500 to 600 million, that comes and goes. That's a fart in the wind. I'm just saying, it doesn't mean that this thing, and I say new all-time highs, it won't be at new all-time highs technically. It doesn't mean that it will go up here, but if you have some screw it money and you want to roll the dice on some low cap gems, this could be one. And this is one that we called out down here so far. Most people were able to buy it below 0.005, but let's just say you did buy it at 0.005. So far, everybody's up 3.4x. Whoever took that upon themselves, 3.6x. So good job, and you likely have more to go. Right? These returns are only amplified as we go lower down the totem pole, and I do think that FERN Hill looks like it wants to grow more. Right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Kind of a shot in the dark with this one, but I got a good feeling. It feels like the universe is, or God is talking to me on this one. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, guys, hit the like button, subscribe, take care, bye.